Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Krakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone that rule well. And I want to give peace and salutations to the elect of Israel. To you all, I say Shalom. This is the brother Mayaka Allah from the GMS West Palm Beach Camp. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the flock of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. And I took this screenshot from Google yesterday. Now, this screenshot, before you type something into Google in the searches, it shows you the trending searches. So what's trending, what most people are searching for. And you gotta remember that over 100 million people visit Google every day. All right. Actually, let me see that. Let me fact check that real quick. Slovakia. Approximately 99,000 or 100,000 searches are processed by Google every second, resulting in about 8.5 billion searches a day. So Slovakia, I was way off. I said 100 million. So it doesn't mean people, but because some people use Google multiple times a day. So again, so over you got billions of searches, and basically a trending topic for yesterday was earthquake and World War III, man. And what did Yahweh Shai say in Matthew 24 about what's gonna happen before the end of the world, man? And it doesn't mean the end of the entire planet, but the end of the end of an era, right? We're at the end of the era of the rulership of Esau Edom, the so-called white man. I'm going to read this real quick. Matthew 24:3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came up to him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Right. So Yahweh Shai's return is synonymous with the end of the world. The end of an era where Esau is ruling, because he's going to rule. All right. Scripture talks about how Yahweh Shai is going to have many crowns. It's really because he's going to be the ultimate rulership on the planet Earth, man. But when he returns, it's ultimately the end. But so the end of the world, though, the further this kingdom goes down, the closer we are to Yahushua's return, man. All right. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and shall deceive many. This is the point, I wanted to get to. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Wars and rumors of wars, World War III, man. All right. Not only do we have wars and rumors of wars going on right now, but we're ultimately going to come up to a point where the U.S. is invaded, or the U.S. is invading other nations, man. And that's when the media and people will say, "Oh, it's officially World War III." Because World War III is already started, technically. Because you got multiple nations across the four corners of the earth at war with each other right now. And the U.S. is funding some of them, man. All right? Verse 7. For nation shall rise, Salakia, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So we got nations rising against nations and kingdoms against kingdoms. We have, pestilences and earthquakes. Now, earthquakes is trending in the searches, and so is war. All right. Next, the thing we're going to hear about is famines and new pestilences, man. They already talk about COVID variants, man. Oh shit, Salakia. I didn't mean to say that. They already talking about the COVID variants, man. Let's see what's trending in the search right now. Oh, Salakia, I messed it up because I searched for something. Nonetheless, also wanted to get this because this guy is a famous economist, and I believe he wrote a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki, right? So he's basically saying the same thing we're saying, man. He's saying that we're at the end, right? But the thing is, the Lord said this millennia ago, man. All right, what did the Lord say He was gonna do? And He said He's gonna destroy this place. The Lord said He's gonna destroy this place a long time ago. I think it's 46. Lakia. Isaiah 46 and 9. Remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh, and there is none else. I am power, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from the ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Right. Lord declared the end from the beginning, man. So before even, he created the earth, he already knew how he was going to end the rulership and create order among this place, man. We're still technically in creation, all right, because we're building the kingdom brick by brick by trying to wake up the elect, man. All right, the final piece will be Yahushua, and basically when he returns, he's going to transform our bodies, and we're going to be like him, man. All right, we're still building the kingdom. Things are still being built right now, man. Because it talks about creatures newly created, so we're still in the middle of creation. That doesn't mean evolution or nothing like that, but we're still in the middle of creation, man. 1 John 3 and 1. Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of power. Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. Beloved, now are we the sons of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Right. The same way the Lord's returning, or in the same fashion the Lord's returning, Yahweh Shai is returning, it's the same way the elect is gonna be transformed, man. In a blink of an eye, man. Alright. Esau will say that's evolution, and no, man. That's the Yahweh Bashem Yahushai creating, man. Still creating, man. Alright. Let me go play this video real quick.
End of an empire right there. It is the end. It's the end of this. All empires always come to an end. The Roman Empire, the Greek Empire. So what we're looking at today is the end of the American Empire. So it's a very dangerous time. It's explosive. All the stuff that's going on is on end of times. Not biblical, but just an end of an era. And the trouble when this comes to an end, war follows. That's what I'm afraid of.
He's 90% right. Everything he said is 90% right. The only thing he was off at, but he said it's not biblical. This is 100% biblical, the times that we're living in right now, man. And this video was spiritual to me because he said it's explosive, and he showed an atomic weapon going off in the background when he said it. But he's right that this is the end of an era, man. And war follows when empires end, or empires usually end 9 times out of 10 by violence, man, with war. All right, and this is going to be the peak example of the end of an empire, and violently, man. And he's right to be afraid too, man. He is right to be afraid, because if you're not right with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you should be very afraid of the times that we're in now, man. But when you're serving Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to the best of your ability, and truth and sincerity, then you have nothing to worry about, man. But everybody else has something to fear, man. But this is this is Robert Kiyosaki, and I believe he wrote that book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, where a lot of people, a lot of so-called economists, right? They'll tell you that it's a so-called must-read. There's no point of reading it now, though. Yep, So yeah, he wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, and that book came out back in 1997. But nonetheless, but he's saying, hey, we're at the end. This is the end. So if people in the world could see it, so it's really the end, man. Even though men of the Lord, through the Spirit, we have the prophecies, we have the breakdowns, and the understanding of the scriptures, so we already know what time it is, man. But people in the world are starting to fear and panic, man. This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, verse 10. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, that there shall be that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. right? That noise and the cry from the fish gate. You know, when you go into it, man, it's really talking about the Great Depression when the market crashed in, and that had ripple effects around the world. Hey, so when it crashes again in modern times, man, the ripple effects are going to be felt around the world as well, because the U.S. dollar is still currently the world's reserve currency for the time being. All right, until the Esau, Edom, and these rest of the world, rest of the nations, man, they basically say, hey, the dollar is worthless, as it already is, because it's only backed by debt. Every dollar that's spent is really loaned to the Babylon by the Federal Reserve, man, and they charge interest with that too. This is why when you see the U.S. is $33 trillion in debt, that debt will never be paid off. So what are you gonna do? If you have a debt that large and you understand it's never gonna be paid off, you're just gonna run it up, man. You're just gonna run it up and say fuck it. You're not gonna attempt to pay it off, man. You're just gonna say fuck it. And if you have the biggest army in the world, which Babylon does have, the United States does have, you're gonna say fuck it, come get it back in blood. And this is what we're about to witness, man. And this is why you're hearing talks about drafts, and World War III is trending in searches, man. Hey, because the world knows what time it is, man. Everybody, the inflation is a worldwide thing. It's not only hitting the United States. So everybody around the world is basically saying, "I need more money," or "Where's my money?" So hey, they're gonna start coming to Babylon. Hey, run me my check, and then that's it. Babylon's gonna pull out the gun, in a carnal sense, man. But that's what they're gonna do, man. All right. But Zephaniah 1:10 against Salakia, and it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, talking about the Great Depression, and a howling from the second, going into the 2008 crash, man. All right, and when everything crashed back then, right, and that ripple effect around the world too, man. And then this third crash that's about to happen, man, it was going to be, and a great crashing from the hills. That's the third crash that's about to happen, and that's the third crash this guy's talking about. But that's the third crash the Lord was talking about thousands of years ago when He wrote this, man. All right. Howl ye, inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, and all they that bear silver are cut off. Right. And even back then, Maktesh was a market where people used to trade, basically using silver and trade in silver too. All right, because silver, was basically a currency, right? One of the main currencies. Gold was always more valuable, but the gold was usually used for large purchases. All right, silver was used for like everyday purchases, if that makes sense. Like if you needed some gas or dinner, you would probably buy not gas, but you know what I'm saying. And the equivalency, you would use silver. But if you needed to buy property or cattle or in land and stuff like that, boats, you would use gold. All right. But he said that we're at the end, man. Thou sayest, man. This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 6. I'm gonna start at verse 8. No, I'll start at verse 7. Oxygen from the top. Second Ezra 6:1. And he said unto me, in the beginning, when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, or ever the winds blew, before it thundered and lightning, or ever the foundations of paradise were laid, before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established, before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered together, or ever the heights of the air were lifted up, before the measures of the firmament were named, or ever the chimneys in Zion were hot, and ever the present years were sought out, or ever the inventions of them that are now sin were turned, before they were sealed that have gathered faith for a treasure. Before they were sealed that have gathered faith for a treasure. That's talking about the elect, man. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also shall they be ended, and by none other. Right. Again, going back to Isaiah 46, how the Lord declared the end from the beginning. Even before all these, before he created anything, he considered everything, man. That's magnificent. Second Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. All right, Jacob going into the 12 tribes, which consists of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in the United States for the most part. Of course, there are other Israelites that may look like other nationalities in Babylon and across the four corners of the earth, but they truly descend from Jacob, man. They are the true Israelites that the Bible speak of, right? And Esau referring to the so-called white man, which is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. So-called white man, that includes the so-called wish man, the you wish you were the chosen people, man. All right, because they like to consider themselves as two different people, but no, they are the same. All right. So when you see a Edomite, like a Temanite and an Amalekite beefing with each other, and that's really that goes into that's prophecy too about a house divided shall not stand. All right. Verse 9, 2 Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Right. So when this world ends, the era of this world, the age, the time that we're in. So when this ends, all right, Esau is going to be in rulership. The so-called white man is going to be in rulership. And after that, who's going to rule after that? Slakia. Lost my train of thought. So in second Ezra 6 and 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Right, so Esau, the so-called white man, is going to be in rulership at the end of the world, and Jacob, the Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans for the most part, will be the ones in rulership in the world following it, and will be in rulership under Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is going to rule on the planet Earth forever and ever, right? When people die, they don't go up. Well, the spirit does return to the spiritual realm, so the spirit does go into heaven, but everybody dies and goes to heaven. But the spirits are brought back into new bodies, or into different bodies when time allows, or when it's their time to be brought back. But the kingdom of heaven will be on the planet Earth, and Yahweh Shai is going to rule on the planet Earth. All right. And that's what the true end of the world is. This is why Esau is upset, man, because he knows he's out of time, pursuant to Revelation chapter 12, verse 12, man. And this is why he's panicking, man. All right. But I'm gonna wrap it up with that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakal Kodash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone that rule well. And I want to give peace salutations to the elect of Israel. Until next time, I want to say Shalom and Abad Rabal.